What is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new feature match, the fourth and final round from my locals, the past week actually. And we've got Altergiest versus Danger Lunalight Orcust. If you guys want to see that Danger Lunalight Orcust deck profile, it's already on the channel. So click up there in the top right. There should be that little eye in that white circle. Click on that. There should be a video that pops up there if you want to go check out the deck profile afterwards. It should also be annotated at the end, as well as the round 1 feature match, which also featured this Lunalight Orcust deck if you guys are interested. But Altergiest going first, setting 4. One of them we know is a protocol alongside that Marionetter, passing it over to our Lunalight player, who will be getting started with the Danger Jackalope. And there's a whole slew of things that you want discarded. You got your Nightmare stuff, or you got your Orcust stuff, and you've got your Lunalight stuff as well, and he just happens to snipe that Perfume out of his hand, and he'll take that draw no problem. But Lunalight Perfume is like a double-edged sword. It has an on-field effect to be able to use this Monster Reborn for any Lunalight card in the graveyard, but it also has a banish effect where you can banish it and discard a card to basically add any Lunalight card from your deck to your hand, any Lunalight monster, I believe. And he's going to discard that Lunalight Serenade Dance, which does have an additional effect, which you can, I believe you can banish it to special summon any Lunalight monster from your deck. So he's going to add, I believe, Tiger there to his hand. And now we're going to see the effect of Serenade, of course, banishing for cost. And much like Perfume, and much like a lot of the Lunalight cards, banishing and activating certain things for cost before the actual effects themselves activate, making them hard to negate. Or making them less desirable to negate anyways. It's kind of like Gen X Undyne. It's sending a water for cost. The effect is actually adding controller to your hand, so keep that in mind. So a lot of things activating for cost. So we'll see the effect of the Serenade Dance, discarding the Orcust Nightmare to the grave to be able to special summon Kaleidochick. Kaleidochick on summon is going to send Yellow Marten to the graveyard for cost in order to copy its name. We know he has that copy of Lunalight Wolf in hand, which can, I believe, use to be able to bounce itself to special, and I believe Marten can also special summon itself out of the graveyard if he does have the scale, I believe. Or we'll see Wolf actually use its effect here to target Marten to revive it out of the grave. So now assembling a pretty decent field. It looks like we'll see a rank 4 play. And going for, I believe, the Raid Raptor 4 Strix, as we've seen here on a couple games prior against this deck playing against Sky Striker. 4 Strix trying to resolve to grab a crucial combo piece known as Blackwing Zephyros. That's going to be negated by the protocol, no problem. And also destroying the card as well, which is kind of relevant here since you don't really want an Orcust deck to have 2 monsters on the field. You want to try to keep that to a minimum if possible, because if you can get 2 monsters, you can establish those. If this play doesn't work, he does have, of course, the Nightmare Phoenix and the Nightmare Mermaid option. So he will have to work a little harder. We'll see the Lunalight Wolf activate now, reviving Yellow Marten. Again, this time bouncing the Wolf to the hand. So that will resolve 100%. No responses here from Altergiest, nothing. 2 monsters on the board now, and we'll see the normal summon, finally, of the Symbol Skeleton. Not a card you want to open, but nonetheless still going to serve its purpose here in the graveyard with an Orcust monster in the graveyard as is. Linking into Galatea, and still 3 back row to worry about. I mean, when I'm thinking Altergeist back row, I'm thinking a lot of generic traps to begin with. Like, you know, Judgment, Warning, Strike, things like that, alongside your Altergeist. I mean, Protocol is probably the card you want to worry about the most in this situation, just because that's negating and destroying monster effects to begin with, but that Protocol has already been exhausted, so might just be free reign on the part of the Orcust player here, just free to do whatever he wants. Sending Harp Horror banishing to summon the Orcust Nightmare from the deck. And looks like we'll see a Dingirsu come down. Dingirsu is going to, on summon, attempt to activate its effect. And looks like he might be going for the attach effect to be able to link and get Symbol Skeleton to the graveyard alongside, or get Dingirsu in the graveyard alongside the Symbol Skeleton to set up a play. But that will be met with Solemn Judgment. Also important to take note that he did not use Galatea's effect earlier on to recycle to set a card. But that's pretty good because You usually want to wait till you get that last Galatea on board so you can fight through some back row, and he does have now the materials to make another Galatea using Yellow Marten on field alongside that Orcust Nightmare if he desires to do so. Still has a live symbol skeleton engraved to be able to target that Galatea. He cannot target Yugioh, unfortunately, because it was met with a Solemn Judgment. So that was never properly summoned, I believe. Now activating the Tiger in the scale to summon Kaleido Chick. Tiger seeming absolutely busted in this matchup. And then we'll see him checking the graveyard. See if he wants to use Kaleido Chick's effect to send. Which I believe that, yeah, he's going to use it from the main deck this time around. It does have the option to send from extra deck, though, if he desired to. So he's going to dump a Yellow Marten to the grave. Off the Kaleido Chick. That he special summoned off that wolf in the scale. Gonna cut the deck, and now we're gonna see a possible mermaid play or a Orcust play. It's going to be for Galatea. So he still hasn't used the effect to return a banished Dark Machine to the main deck to set an Orcust spell or trap. He's going to play the field spell first, however. And he's going to swing for 18, dropping his opponent down to 2200. Pretty low after paying that half-life for Solemn Strike or Solemn Judgment. And then he's going to return one here, debating on which one to return. He's got Nightmare and Harpour in the Banish Zone. Looks like it's going to be the Harpour. And put that back into the deck to trade it out essentially for a copy of Orcust Climax, which will prove to shut down any big plays the Altergiest player might have next turn. So that's going to be the end of his turn there. And he's going to pass it over to him. And deciding just to scoop it up. Not too many plays to be able to make. Probably not drawing into any monsters, and his traps can only do so much against the onslaught of the Orcust Lunalight deck. So as we head into Game 2 here, players shuffling their decks, their respective decks, so they get ready to head in Game 2. I want to mention a quick shout out to our sponsor over at Imperium Duelist, providing some amazing playmats, sleeves, dice, calculator cases, etc., etc. Some of the best two-player cloth playmats I've ever used. Some amazing high-quality sleeves that they just actually revamped the formula for. So if you weren't sold on them in the past, maybe give them another shot now. They're tournament-ready non-effect sleeves and effect sleeves all on their website. And you can get it all for 10% off with that discount code WinnerKills10off, which you can find alongside a link to their website down in the description below. So highly recommend you guys check them out. Help support me and help save you guys a little money in the process. So Lunalight going first here. After you would think the Altergeist deck would want to go first and try to set up a board that could easily pick apart a combo deck, but that really didn't work out too well in Game 1, so trying a bit of a different strategy, probably siding in a lot of going second cards, probably like, when I think of like Altergeist siding going second cards, I think of it evenly matched simply because it's a trap card. Foolish Burial Goods dumping that Serenade Dance to the graveyard to be able to discard the Orcust Nightmare to summon Kaleido Chick sending Yellow Marten to the grave. Already getting a pretty solid start here thanks to that Foolish Burial Goods, which is a huge combo piece in this deck. It has so many good targets to send, like Perfume, Serenade Dance. You could even send your Orcust Climax and Babel to be able to use their respective graveyard effects. Tons of synergy here with Foolish Burial Goods. One of my favorite cards, honestly, right now. That card, I've had a hard time finding, like, in the decks that I use, you know, a place for it, but I've been using it in Necroz lately. It's just such a great card, and I think will continue to be only better as time goes on. It's basically Foolish Burial, but just time for spells and traps. So, I mean, Foolish Burial is at 1. I could easily see that card possibly winding up at 1 someday in the future, depending on what cards come to fruition to make it really busted, of course. But a bit of a mishap happens here, a bit of a misplay. The Orcust player realizing that he only plays 2 copies of Nightmare and actually discarded his last copy with having the other copy in his grave, so technically can't even resolve the Mermaid. Ghost Ogre was chained, but little did he know that he didn't actually have a target to summon, so the Ghost Ogre will go back. They'll rewind the game state a bit here, which is no big deal. So now using the Orcust Nightmare to send Harpour, and I believe he's going to special summon Symbol Skeleton as well off of that. I believe he does get a step ahead here, and by just dumping the Harpour and special summoning the Symbol Skeleton, Harpour will get banished, I believe momentarily, so do not worry too much. A bit behind though in plays, Ideally, at this point, you'd have Mermaid and Nightmare on your field to be able to start assembling a much better board. But here he's starting a bit later because he's had to exhaust the Nightmare with that Mermaid still on field. So not ideally where you want to start your combo. But still a pretty good place to be. And nonetheless, you've got some cards in grave. You've already resolved your Horror and your, your Nightmare. Now trying to resolve the effect of the Galatea. There's that Ghost Ogre coming down, as you might expect. Not going to change his plays up there. It's just a slight mishap on his behalf. Realizing that, hey, I've got both of my targets in, one in hand and one in grave. So technically can't resolve this. I know that's happened to me quite a few times with Mermaid, when you're like, oh, I actually don't have a target. I can't go this route. Why did I go for this route? You know, these things tend to happen. So he's going to actually pass there, but luckily enough for him, he's still got a symbol skeleton engraved with Galatea. So if he wanted to end phase, he could possibly bring back that Galatea and use this effect to get the counter trap if he desires to. But looks like we'll see the Meluseek, and that's going to attack for 500 and use this effect to destroy the field spell. Opting not to chain there, feeling as though he's in a pretty good position, not needing to waste any of those effects. Maybe he wants to use that discard effect of the Babel next turn, so he's just going to leave it in the graveyard, fearing as though he's not going to get OTK'd. He's not in any big threat right now. No need to bring the Galatea out. So he's going to add Multi-Faker there in the end phase, the infamous one of for the deck. Now passing it back over to our Lunalight Orcust player. Checking the graveyard, a whole slew of plays to be able to be made, especially when resolving Tanky here to get some of his key combo pieces to make his graveyard live. Probably going to add Kaleido Chick or Wolf here, I would imagine. And yeah, there's the Wolf. And basically with a deck like this, your graveyard acts as like a second hand almost, which is pretty nice. So using Wolf to summon Kaleido Chick. And Kaleido Chick is going to not send from the main deck this time, however, going to send from the extra deck, sending the Panther Dancer, I believe here, to be able to make its name Lunalight Panther Dancer, because he's going to, I believe, attempt a fusion for one of the big cats that could essentially seal this game out right here and right now. He's going to play the Tiger, I believe. Or no, the Wolf. That is Tiger in this bottom right scale. The top left, I believe, is Wolf, which allows him to actually act as a fusion summon. I don't know, I'm getting Tiger and Wolf mixed up. My apologies. I don't know how long I've been doing that this whole game, but using the effect of the Wolf to be able to fusion and going for the Lunalight Leo Dancer, which cannot be targeted. Which plays in huge here since the Linkuriboh can't do anything about that. The Linkuriboh does target, and that is a 3600 Leo Dancer, which can attack twice, and if it does destroy a monster by battle, it destroys all special summon monsters your opponent controls. So summoning out the Galatea here, and a bit of another mistake happens here, a little bit of a hot cheat. But again, these things do happen. He goes to, I believe, summon after the effect of the Galatea resolves here to go grab a set Orcust spell or trap. He's going to grab Climax here since he's already got the field spell in grave. I mean, he has game on board as is, which it doesn't matter. This next summon he makes, it doesn't matter because he already has game. He's going to attack over the Linkuriboh for 33, then 36, then 18. Doesn't need the Dingirsu Send to begin with. You know, a play that technically can't happen because he doesn't have an open extra monster zone, but there's that evenly matched and a whole bunch of Altergeist monsters in hand that aren't doing him a whole lot of good. Needed to resolve that evenly matched there, but luckily for the Lunalight player, he was able to OTK, so making it so that evenly matched could not be live. So yeah, Lunalight Orcust taking commanding 2-0 there. Hope you guys enjoyed the match. Hope you guys have been enjoying all the feature matches lately. This video I've had to actually record twice because I went to render it and it got Thanos snapped completely, and I had to completely restart. So this is my second time actually making this entire video over from scratch. So hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. A little heads up, I'm going to be doing a case opening of the Gold Sarcophagus tomorrow, so don't miss that. Make sure you got them notifications on if you want to see it. And yeah, as always, guys, Winter Kill is signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one.